visuals and welcome back to the show and welcome back to another edition of Superhero Wednesday, where I'm a bit snuffily good job you're in here because I'll be covering you all kinds of fucking. How is everybody? It is Superhero Wednesday. It is time for another absolute Batman spoiler heavy review. We've last few episodes we've just gone spoiler heavy. My girlfriend says you speak too much about it. You need to just do spoiler heavy. Spoiler heavy review. This time it is for issue 13 of it is 13, isn't it? Yeah, issue 13 of Absolute Batman. We got the lovely Catwoman there on the cover of this issue. Definitely. We'll just get straight into it. We'll just get straight into it by the looks of it. I don't want to take too long because it's a matter of time till I'm. I don't know if I've somehow had an illness and slowly got rid, or it's the start. What was that? Just casually decided to take out Funko Pop's fucking Goku, Vegeta, and just wiping them all out. But anyway, sorry. So we know how the story left off. We saw that Catwoman had entered the lair of Batman along with Alfred, and she had attacked Alfred and not apprehended him, but she'd subdued him, whatever the word is I'm looking for. And we continue with the interaction of Catwoman, Selina, Bruce, Alfred. Alfred's fairly getting pinned down by her tail is like an ammo belt in this, by the way. It's the ammo to her gun, which is fucking badass and cool. And we have this brief interaction of Bruce and Selina at the start, because obviously we know that they're in a relationship and whatnot, and of course they're still friends anyway. They're part of that same core friendship group. And then we go on to this very hot scene after being told as well that I've been sent by your mum, and Batman's like, you just do your mum joke to me. But we get this very hot and heavy scene where I was like, okay, Absolute Batman, just muscles and fight. Okay. The sex, which I'll show you the shit in a sec. They have a bit of back and forth about what they really want to speak about and all this kind of stuff. And we get this this sort of showdown because we know that Batman's recruiting. So he's got a plan behind the scenes, going to the Falcons and whatnot, of how to eventually stop what's happening at Arkham and stopping Bane and stuff like that. They then go with each other to see the Red Hood Gang, and we see that the Red Hood Gang's being led by the Absolute World's version of Harley Quinn, which again I'll show you in a sec. But during that altercation, there's a moment where there's because they have to have a brief fight with them because they tell them to go and whatnot. You know, oh, you're one of the monsters from Arkham and shit. And they're trying to reason with them, but they start fighting, and there's a guy at the top of the rocket launcher, and Bruce smashes down like this like sort of radio, not I don't know what they're called, like pylon things, whatever the fuck they're called, by using the venom inside of him. And Selina's like, you shouldn't use that again and stuff like that, because I've seen what happens. It can take over your body and shit. And they have a bit of back and forth. They get back to the layer, and they're discussing. Okay, so there's going to be this plan that they hijack Gotham. I think it's Gotham TV. And they hijack it and they send out a warning. Batman's warning Bane, listen, meet me here at this time, blah blah blah, final showdown. If I lose, I'll go back to Arkham and I'll do what it is you need him to do. If you lose, you know, you get out and all this kind of shit. But we get the cool little ending, well, kind of near enough ending of we see Batman's, he reminds everyone, he goes, in case anybody doesn't know who I am, I'm Batman. And we get like this first proper full-on, I'm Batman, of the Absolute Batman, and it just fucking hits so well. We also get a nice little look at Bane. The doctors are all getting him ready and juicing up, saying, oh, this is the most we've seen the human body take this. We didn't think this was possible. You're like a unicorn. And then he mentions about, like, they used to say back in the day about a unicorn meat's not being quite proper or some shit like that. He's sort of like down and whatnot. And he's like, listen, I just want to get Batman here. He could be your new little a soldier, your new little vessel of destruction and chaos, and then I want to get back to my family and shit. And she's like, do you really think he'd let you go? Meaning the Joker. And he's like, he better to. I've done everything. I've given everything to him. So we get a little bit more of a vulnerable-ish side of Bane in this Absolute Bane, which we haven't really, well, we have a little bit. We had the prequel, the flashback stuff, but like we haven't really seen him talk and show sort of like this vulnerability, which was nice to see. Unfortunately, at the very end, we get a big disagreement between Catwoman and Batman, saying, listen, I'm going to use a venom, but I'm going to use it in my way. I'm going to harness it. I'm going to control it, use it for the good. And Catwoman's urging him not to because she's worried he'll go out of control. It'll overtake him. He says, listen, you better just go. And she leaves. And as she's leaving, Alfred's like, yeah, don't let the door hit you and all this kind of shit. So a funny little sort of hatred between them two, because Alfred already knows about her past and who she is. He's saying she's not very loyal and all this kind of stuff. But we'll get into the nitty gritty and show you some actual. I'll show you the actual cover there properly. You can see Catwoman perched up. Yeah, there's a little claws. There's her little ammo belt, which you can't really see come from behind her, but it's super cool. And of course, we know where she got this mask. It kind of looks like Black Mask's sort of technology and shit, and her and Bruce are having a back and forth about where she got it, and you know, all this stuff that she's been doing and shit behind the scenes. I forgot to mention, we do get a nice little look at this titled Abomination. I'll quickly show you that. Abomination. We see this little flashback of, what kind of flashback of these two communicating, talking, and all this kind of shit. They're just truly in love. We do see Waylon Jones in this. We see a flashback of when Bruce is urging him, listen, just take the money, take a dive, you'll go out in the final stage of the fight and all this kind of shit. and Waylon's like, no, I'm not having it, and he pushes him away and stuff, and it's kind of like a big fallout. And we also see Bruce leaving by some water in one of the sewer system parts, a big box of meat for Killer Croc to eat, and we do see a little shot of Killer Croc. So I'm assuming we're going to see him in his final showdown and whatnot. This is the interaction between Catwoman and Batman, and there she is. She's got Alfred down. There's a moment where she's like, fucking, he's trying to get up, and she's like, nah, yeah, there it is. He's like trying to get up, and she's like, nah, get away, man, what you doing? You're not absolutely having any of this. And these two, and then as soon as we get this, we get the, oh, hey, oh, yeah, okay, no, I feel like this is the kind of hot, passionate sex my girlfriend expects from me, and I'm like, just need a fag and a coffee. He's coming around here with his absolute muscles and his just manliness, and you know, just shit. I can't perform to absolute Batman standards, but it's quite cool. Obviously, it's showing them undressing. You can kind of just see like their different respective outfits undressing, but we also get side by side shot of their respective helmets. Respective a lot. I think we do a slightly better shot. Oh, there it is. There, them two communicating, and the helmets there down there. She's asking, "What do they do to you?" and all this kind of stuff. Let's see. It's hard to figure out. This Batman got smashed by Bane. This Batman's just crazy in his own rights. And this, they go, should we go for a date? And this is their version of a date. Going around doing the things, swinging around Gotham and going around the rooftops and off to find the Red Hood gang. And this is them interacting, trying to, you know, I need your help and all this kind of shit. And then we'll skip that. This is her. Let's see, look, plugging in her ammo belt there. Batman's actually telling her to calm down. They're only kids. But she says somewhere, you know what, I hate kids, take it easy, just a cat nap. So it's not bullets, it's obviously just like rubber stuff or whatever, just to knock them out and shit. But we do get, this is what I was on about with the big tower, the guy, the rocket launcher at the top, and Batman just going fucking nuts. And, you know, you can see like the sort of Venom kind of trying to take it over Batman and trying to manipulate his body, and him fighting to succumb to it. I'm fucking butchering this. I mean, it's been a long day at work, but there is our reveal of Harley Quinn, who looks super fucking badass. I like the look of this Harley Quinn in the absolute world. So we'll see if, well, she mentions he does, Batman does give a little speech of, you know, yes, I am a monster from Arkham and all this kind of stuff, but I want your help to destroy Arkham and get rid of it, all this stuff. And we can see her sort of kind of taking notice of it or whatnot, because I'm assuming then they might have had some hand in Harley Quinn. They've done something to her, maybe, or a close family member, because she's like, yeah, if you're all for taking them down, then I am more than happy to take them. Because what did she say here? Now you're speaking my fucking language. Name's Harley Quinn, leader of the Red Hood. So what's the plan? So she's in, ready to rock and roll. We don't quite know what the plan is yet. Are coming together. Killer Croc will be... Oh, shit, did I go past the Killer Croc stuff? I should have shown you, because it's a really cool, eerie, sort of freaky panel. Or is it towards the end? It might be towards the end, actually. But there's Bane there getting juiced up. Just look how unhuman that is. That is fucking scary. What's the quote he says about the meat? A wild as good for work... whose meat is too bitter to eat. That's from the first ever description of a unicorn doctor, 5th century BC. So he's like, yeah, absolutely minging. But there's somebody in the back, Doc, you need to see this. There's something coming in, there's this broadcast coming in. And this is Batman giving his speech to offer Bane one last showdown, one last fight. And then there's our big shot of I'm Batman. What does he offer? He's telling the people of Gotham that you've been misled, you've been, our leaders and stuff have let us down. You win, I'll go back to Arkham and become whatever you want, but you won't win, and you people of Gotham, you get to watch. And just in case any of you are wondering who I am, I'm Batman. He doesn't quite specify what Bane will get because he's adamant he will win. Where is our lovely little shot? It's coming up next. So here's the little flashback with Wayland and Bruce saying he should take the dive, and he pushes him away and stuff. And then him sort of pushing Catwoman away. And is it on the next panel? There it is there. So Batman's leaving in his big badass tank. There's his box of meat, and there's him leaving it to Killer Croc to munch and chow down on, which is, it's quite nice to see. Like, no matter what, he's still going to look after him, and he's going to do his best to how about as well. We get an annual there. Look at that. That's a scary kind of annual. That reeks of just crazy KKK shit. Fuck knows what's happening there, but I'm sure we'll find out when we read it. And that's our final. And so next, is it next? Yeah, next, the final showdown. So Batman and Bane are going to duke it out one last time. I'm assuming we're going to see absolute Joker in the next issue. The images of that already got, I don't want to say leaked, but put out there. I think I still read somewhere this is going to run 20 issues, so there's still things to tie up towards the end. If it is going to be 20, if it's going to run go on for longer, I'm not quite sure. But it continues to still be just an outstanding read, visuals. Yeah, a bit of a calmer episode, issue, but definitely very much the calm before the storm. I am ready for this final showdown. Whether we're going to see Batman embrace that venom and sort of go chaotic and see if it will overcome him, and he will bend to it, or if he will find a way to harness it, because he says about how he was on the venom, he felt 10 steps ahead and nothing could hit him and all this kind of shit. So it's a showdown that I welcome. Obviously it's bound to be time that Batman gets one back on Bane to see how it happens. I'm not quite sure how this plan's going to come. The Red Hood gang involved, the Falcons and shit. Killer Croc waiting in the wings. Catwoman, even though they kind of like had their little split up there, I don't imagine she'll leave him hanging. Of course, Alfred's still in play and shit. So yeah, visuals, absolute Batman issue 3, another work of absolute art. I can't quite remember if I was ranking these, but it gets 10 out of 10. Every issue gets a 10 out of 10. It's been such a wonderful, amazing read, a new look into these characters from the DC world that we absolutely adore. Of course, Batman being my favourite DC character, one of my favourite characters, full stop. And to see a new twist on this world and to continue exploring the way that we are. Absolutely phenomenal. But there we go. My spoiler-heavy review for Absolute... Oh, my, really can't... I need to go to bed. Absolute Batman, issue 13. Issue 14 out, I think it's like the 14th or the 15th of November. So, I can't fucking wait for that. I can't wait to see what the cover... I don't know if there's been any cover art released yet. But... highly recommend you still check it out and go get it yourselves, because it's just been a fucking joy to read. But there we go. Let me know what you think of my review and stuff in the comments below. Visuals, I'm going to go conk out in bed and just find out. This is the worst part of it, Gabby. It's the non-breathing part. Coughing, headaches, all that. I can fucking handle it, but not the visuals. Thanks so much for watching. You guys are literally the fucking best. And rules keep being you, eggy pound. Oh, web slinging out.